everybody, and welcome to another edition of Offbeat's International Moment here on EuropeRadio.com. Tonight is Halloween, and we are awaiting the Dance of the Undead, Psytrance techno event happening on Stuk right here in Maribor City. Tonight's headliner and our special guest is one of the biggest names in Psytrance music, a regular guest on legendary festivals like Glastonbury Festival and Ozora Festival, touring with names like Moby, Laibach, and producing soundtracks for movies like The Matrix. A very talented producer going by the name of Juno-Reactor, Mr. Ben Watkins. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
You said you've already been to Maribor and Ljubljana. You haven't had time to see the town.
I haven't seen Maribor, but I've seen Ljubljana.
Yeah, the town is actually pretty small, so if you'll be staying for one day, I think you can see the whole town.
Maybe tonight.
Firstly, it's an honor to have you in the studio. You're a very big name in Psytrance music. You started making Psytrance music before it was widely known, before it even had a name. What made you want to create this kind of music?
I think I was just...
Where did the inspiration come from?
Well, I started doing electronic music, quite early on, and I had different projects like the Flower Pot Men, then this other one called Sunsonic, and it was very much like me and my friend Adam Peters. But the more that it kept on going, the more we became less of friends.
Okay.
And at the end it was like war.
Okay,
so I then thought, shit, this really isn't happening. So I started doing many different projects. Like I think I had one called Electrotet, another one called Jungle High, and another one called...
That was before the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another one called Juno-Reactor, and the whole point of Juno-Reactor was that it was meant to be like a sort of Dadaist, sort of like utopian, surrealist sort of thing where anyone could be in it, a filmmaker, poet, whatever.
So a wide range, you could use a wide
range and do installation artwork and do all of this stuff, and it's not just being about the music, but the music was just easier to fund. Everything else was really difficult to fund.
Okay.
And so the music took off, and I was really into electronic music, and I was doing very heavy sequence type sort of EBM sort of music, and I was really inspired by bands like the early tracks from Yellow, and I wanted to do that. I didn't want to do anything else, and some friends of mine started coming back from India saying, hey, check this stuff out, and it was really similar to what I was doing, so it was far more trippy.
Okay.
And I thought, yeah, let's go for this. And so the first thing was I was really into science fiction and 2001 Space Odyssey. And so I started writing soundtracks and then realized that the best way to have a band was collaborations. So if you're getting on with them, they're in the band.
Okay.
If you're not getting on with them, you're working. So I was working with maybe 3 or 4 different people. And that became Juno-Reactor, that it became this open door policy. And so in the beginning, Mike Maguire, Stefan Holbeck, Johan Bley were the primary people I was working with.
Okay.
And then I got offered the Moby tour, and none of them wanted to come out on the road.
Okay, so you had to go. You had to go alone.
So I thought, fuck, what am I going to do? And I'd just been working in South Africa. I'd just been producing a Zulu band in Cape Town.
Okay.
And when it came to the percussion bits, I was walking down the corridor of this studio, and I literally fell over this guy. He was fast asleep in the middle of the corridor. The corridor was completely black. I fell over him, woke him up, and said, oh, you all right? And he's like... And it was Moby, this percussionist. And I went into the studio where he's working. And him and the Emma Pondo guys, which are a really talented sort of percussion group from South Africa, black tribal Akosa percussion. And I thought, wow, these are amazing. So I got them into my studio and put all of their percussion on them. And then when my band didn't want to do Moby, I thought, okay, I'll ring these guys up. And I rang them up and they said, yeah, we want to come.
Interesting.
So like it was then me and like 5 guys from South Africa, and they're great because when we went on stage, they're all in their costumes and makeup, and over like the Moby tour, we just developed this stage act.
Okay.
We're only on for 30, 35, 40 minutes each night, but every night Moby would be in the audience watching. Which is really,
Okay.
you know.
So the open door policy kind of worked for you.
It was great. It's great. And then I stayed working with the Amapondo guys, and Mabi especially. I wrote Conga Fury with him and a number of other I mean, he was working with Miles Davis when he was 17
Okay.
in New York. So he was like going into America, coming back to South Africa, and he's an amazing guy to work with.
Yeah, this has to be a really... So the open door policy is basically what makes Juno-Reactor what it is.
Sure,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Was there a lot of influence from the movies? Like from the start, did you
Yeah, I mean, I was
acknowledge
writing.
movies?
Yeah, I mean, I was really into movies. Like every time I work in the studio, I put on a film,
Okay.
and I always put on a film. I find
Do you always listen to like in films while you watch movies? Do you listen a lot of
Always.
what's in the background all the time?
always.
What about just sounds like for the movies that are?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a viral sort of knicker of ideas, you know.
Yeah.
I'll go in, if I hear a sound, I want to take that sound. If I hear like a bit of music, the way they put it together,
Yeah.
I'll try and, you know, incorporate it. Like we were just talking with Ricky on the way over, yeah?
Yeah.
He said Perfume's one of his favourite soundtracks, and I went meeting Lara. Amazing piece of music, yeah? So it's always there, but when I'm writing, I've always got a film on that represents somehow the track, that somehow sort of I can work it in. And so when I was doing Pistolero, I was watching like Robert Rodriguez, Dusk Till Dawn, Tarantino films, and they were the big inspiration for Pistolero, which, funnily enough, it is like a sort of anti-weapon track, and then when I named it the Tarantino mix, Tarantino really loved it, and they got in touch and said, "Can we use it for this film?" And I went, "Yeah, sure."
Crazy.
And
Obviously, you had a lot of featurings in a lot of movies. You did a lot of soundtracks, and one of the best known is The Matrix. Would you tell us more about the collaboration for The Matrix and how you got the idea? What actually got you to work with them? And
well, I heard 2 years before I went and met them that maybe they were thinking about using me.
So you knew in
I was getting
advance.
my hair cut, and this guy said to me, "Hey, I hear you're doing the Matrix soundtrack." And I was like, "What?"
Okay.
Where the hell did you hear that from? I can't even remember where he heard that from, but anyway, nothing happened. I thought, nothing's happening. And then my manager got a call inviting me and him out to LA.
Okay.
And we went and met the directors, and it's one of those weird, you know, like when you meet someone and somehow the chemicals just really work. You know, they'd read, their favourite book was one of my favourite books, their poster on the wall was one of my favourite films,
Okay.
which was the Chinese ghost story, and so we just really hit it off. And they said, "We really want you to do, like, mix the orchestra and the electronics for the freeway chase."
Okay, yeah. Did you see the chase in advance? Or?
Yeah, they showed it to me then, and I was like, I nearly fell off the sofa, you know. Once it finished, I just said, "What can I say after that?" You know, I mean, it's...
Did you have the idea quite quickly when you saw this?
Well, they had got some guy, and they got the guy who later became my music editor, a guy called Zig Gron, had edited loads of my tracks together and put it over the freeway chase.
Okay.
So there was like a bit of a temp score
Okay, yeah.
already, and they said, "We don't want this."
Okay.
But we want something where it feels like, because there were so many of my tracks in there, we want it to feel like one track. So you come out of this section, you go to this section, go to this section, and we want you to work with the orchestrator and come up with orchestral ideas. And so I went home, and yeah, it was.
Was it a long project? Did it take a long time?
It did. It took about 6 months because I did once they really liked the freeway chase. they said, "Hey, try this one and then they kept on throwing me more tracks.
Yeah. Okay, so you had to go all over and start all over again.
Yeah, but it was incredibly exciting.
Yeah,
I don't think I've. It's like now my life feels like I'm going at about 2 miles an hour. Okay. Over there, it felt like I was going 100 miles an hour.
It was like the car chase, actually.
It was. Because you never knew whether you're going to be sacked or not.
Yeah.
You know, like tomorrow you could be sacked. They could go off. You know, luckily they aren't. They haven't got big egos. In fact, they really despise people with big egos.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't say for a big Hollywood picture, so...
I thought they were amazing to work with, and like they gave me one track, another scene, the train man, and I went off and did it, and they said to me, "You got to break more eggs if you want to make scrambled eggs." And I knew exactly what they meant because I was being too polite with it, and then I just bashed it, you know.
So that's what they wanted in the beginning, probably.
Well, I think they just wanted they're always. They've always got their own. They're brilliant producers. They would make amazing musical producers.
Did you have any collaborations with them since the movie?
No. We did Revolutions, and after Revolutions, then they started working with Tom Tykwer. Tom Tykwer's got an amazing set of composers.
Okay. So
I think Tom Tykwer also writes as well.
Okay.
But Cloud Atlas, I think I would have loved to have done something on that.
Yeah, but okay, you had a lot of collaborations with a lot of people all across the world, so you had to be free for that too.
Sure.
What would you say was the most memorable collaboration you had?
Ever.
Yeah.
With Moby Thobajani.
Okay.
The guy in the corridor.
Okay, that guy.
Because he's only about this big. No? He's a bit bigger, but he's a bushman. He's a sand person.
You also had a collaboration with Laibach, right?
Yeah.
How did you meet them?
Well, it was when I wrote this track called "God Is God." Me and Nick Burton, who was another collaborator, he was a drummer. We wrote this track called "God Is God," and it was ready, I think, for the end of the first album. We'd written it, but we didn't really think it was right for the audience. And it wasn't until Bible of Dreams that we put it out. But anyway, so I sent them a demo to Mute Records, and they really liked it. But I didn't realise that Laibach had picked up the demo tape and put it in their pocket.
Oh, okay.
Because I really like Life Is Life.
Yeah.
So when I saw, like Charlton Heston going, "God is God, God is God," I thought, ooh, there's something there.
Okay.
And anyway, they really loved it, and they loved the fact it was called "God Is God" and "Life Is Life." So they then did a cover of it.
Okay.
Before it came out. So their version of "God Is God" came out before the original version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first I heard of it was like Mute Records saying, "Hey, Laibach have done a cover of your track "God Is God. Are you happy for them to put it out?" And I went, "Yeah, put it out."
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Okay. Did you get your current vocalist, Taya?
Yeah.
She's an amazing addition to the band. How did you meet her? Was that through
Vuk?
Through Vuk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was here with Vuk doing a DJ show, and I said to him, "If you know any great singers, let me know."
Oh, so you were actually searching for a vocalist?
Yeah. And he said, "Well, I know this girl," and he played me some stuff, and she's got like a really amazing tone in her voice, especially when she starts kicking it up a gear.
Some of the listeners got a chance to see you perform on this year's Ozora Festival with
Mutant Theatre.
An amazing show, by the way. They asked me to ask you, where did you get the idea for such a great collaboration? So this is a question from the listeners.
Well, I've been working in Russia, and I first met because essentially the Mutant Theatre at the moment is made up of Juno-Reactor live band, Agnivo from Moscow, and Stigma from St. Petersburg. And I worked with both of them independently in Russia. And I've been thinking for about 5 or 6 years, wouldn't it be great if I could just put them all together and then create this sort of like a Psytrance Vegas show. If you're going to do like a Vegas show anywhere for Psytrance, they would be great.
Yeah.
And so Ozora, we did a show in 2015 that Ozora really loved. And they said, hey, have you got any ideas for 2016 that are not like 2015? And I said, well, so then I sort of made them like all the pictures and the story and what it would be and how much commitment we would need from them to really do it. And they did it. And
apparently it had a very big response because people like it a lot.
I'd love to tour it. I mean, we're going to do it in Australia and we're going to do it in Poland and maybe in the UK. But I'm thinking about trying to make a slightly smaller, like a mini mutant theatre that I can tour on a bus. And if I can put it on a bus, it would be great because then I could get it to many places.
Yeah. Maybe to Slovenia too.
It would be... It's possible if you can start touring on a bus.
Yeah.
You can make shows a lot cheaper because you haven't got 20 flights. And
do you like the smaller shows or you like big festivals better?
I like everything.
It has to be diverse.
You can do a really big show and it can be, you know, the audience is so far away from you, they might as well be on Mars.
It's
you
like
know, and then it's like, okay, I really like an audience close. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it when you feel the audience almost on your legs, you know?
That's mostly how the scene is here in Maribor. So I hope you're going to get to feel this tonight. Thanks for stopping by here at our studio. Thanks. I wish you a great gig today.
Thank you.
And I hope you get some really good memories from Maribor also. Thanks.